Here we go. We're here. It's
String
happening.
cheese is awesome.
It's so good.
Okay, we've got our string cheese. We've got our flumph. Mr. Snuffles is here. I'm very excited. Let us begin Chapter 2 of Terraform. I can't tell you guys how excited I am for this. Feels like it's been 3-ish months, I want to say. Something like that. It's been way too long. I'm very excited. For everyone coming in, thank you for being here. Season 3 of Longshot RPG, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Everyone, welcome. We have a newcomer, Taylor and Tracy. She will be joining us, and we will be introducing her character shortly. But first, let us recap. We've got Mr. Pillowsuit.
Hi.
Returning as Otto. No last name. Oh, you're right. I take notes. I know what I'm doing.
He has no last name like Prince or...
I could have sworn.
No, you
I
just
think
thought
it's
that
someone
was
a
your
different.
last name. It's not really.
Yeah, you just don't.
have
Yeah.
No last name.
No, I just wrote up an 8-page backstory for no reason.
Listen, I've been reading a lot of those. Okay.
It only took me 8 hours overnight, but you know, thanks a lot.
And it was a fantastic. Backstory. We also have that dorky cosplayer, who is returning as Brady. And of course that was left with quite the cliffhanger. And we'll get to that post haste. We also have one Critfail Jake returning as Thranduin, the warlock fighter, I believe, whose patron is none other than Gent. Returning with us is GoodGriefGeorge, and he will not be returning as Crichton, but we'll get to that. He's got some new shenanigans up his sleeve, very applicable to the arc. Okay, anything you guys want to cover? Say to the chat.
Welcome.
Naked guy!
Naked guy.
We missed you guys.
Yeah, honestly.
Miss you.
Taylor's like, yeah, we've missed you.
I missed you guys so much. It's been so long. Thank you.
So we've got some new bits and some new bit donation things. You guys should be able to see it, as well as some new commands. You can hit exclamation point commands to learn of what they are. We also have party links. If you do the command party links, you should get a long list of everyone's link tree and whatnot. All right. Oh no, the Nightbot. the Nightbot
attacks.
did I'm still figuring out Nightbot. It'll get a little more. I am sorry, Demon. Spam's fine. If you wanna flash those pine cones. Thank you, Yame.
We have the best moderator.
The best moderator ever. Yame, the one and only. She carries this team. All right.
Team on her back.
A little bit. So, shall we begin? Let's get to it. A half year has passed. The small... What's up, Dankles? Oh, I got a drink already? Dang.
Dangles.
The small town of Dragon's End has quickly become a metropolis. Over 8 caravans, if you will, have come and gone, dropping off many people and many powerful individuals. There is already a council that runs the government of Dragon's End, and the northern continent has taken notice of by this time, and Theros, good old Theros, has ever been present in these meetings. Part diplomat, part moderator, part trying to make a profit, because as we know, the Endeavor, the land where I can't say all of the party, but 3 of our party members come from, does not have horses. They indeed named them spackles. Something the Endeavor does have, however, is gunpowder, cannons, flintlock pistols. Oh, he's got something for this.
He's got a spackle.
And so Theros has been very busy in these meetings trying to get his hands on his name on the trade legislations and whatnot. Oh my gosh.
You good over there?
No, but it's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's good.
Brady has been very busy. Meetings in the night with individuals of an organization known as the Members of the Held Breath, or just Held Breath. She has been put to work spying, eavesdropping, conning, and otherwise affiliating herself with members of the council and other dominant individuals, prominent individuals of Dragon's End. Dragon's End has quickly rose to a full-fledged city. The Endeavor knows exactly how to establish new ground and has quickly and efficiently built up stone buildings, walls, 3 to 4 story buildings, a garrison. This Dragon's End now has a market, a very large Church of the Path, which is the religion that the Endeavor has essentially manipulated into being their policing force. And as she wakes up, the weight of her past excursions kind of weighing heavily on her, she finds hope and finds some relief in knowing that Thranduin is coming above ground today. Underground, beneath Dragon's End, as we know, this island is riddled with lava tubes and large caverns naturally formed. A snake folk, I'm going to say it correctly. No, I'm not. Yuan-Ti? Jake?
There it is.
Nice, I did it.
Look at
Baldur's
you.
Gate came out, and now I have to relearn a couple of names, like Myconids. Luckily, Flumph is the same.
Didn't you used to call it Wantai?
Yeah.
I want to know. I fear change.
I was gonna say, now I'm gonna say it wrong the whole time.
Thranduin, who has been, we call him snake folk. Thranduin has been quite busy establishing the favor of the snake folk. And he has been dubbed by those people as the Prophet of Gent. Gent, his patron, as we know, is trapped. He is one of the 2 godlings that is locked into a stalemate between him and Harmony, and has been using Thranduin to destroy certain monoliths, great stones that boost Harmony's power. Harmony, being the god of balance, has control over gravitational forces. But he promised Brady that he would make sure to take the time to see his friend. Brady, you wake up slightly chipper. It's been a rough half year. But you think, through various meetings and spying and stealthing around after such meetings, you have figured out who your contact actually is. There is a man in the market who supposedly sells fish. And his true name is Sota. meetings have always been behind masks, shadowed tables in the inn, which is also named Dragon's End. The skull, the top half of the skull is the bar, and various paraphernalia of the slain dragon that the party managed to destroy as becoming the town's namesake, can be seen throughout the city. And just outside the courtyard of Dragon's End, the tavern, are these statues to the original party: Dayton, Crichton, Otto, Thranduin, and Brady. Brady has a permanent residence, being a known and favored individual of Dragon's End. Otto and Thranduin included, they have authority through favor, through reputation. And the council has ever been trying to A, supersede that unsuccessfully, and then eventually B, try to bring them into the meetings and give them various titles and the like. And Otto hasn't even been there. He's been, we'll get to what Otto's been up to. But for now, let's focus on Brady and Thranduin. Brady, you wake up. What do you do?
So you had said that he's set to come above ground, right? Today?
Yes, today, morning.
Okay. So she's going to go and grab some coffee or whatever is the equivalence of coffee.
Okay.
Grab 2.
Okay.
And then go to the spot where he's supposed to appear and just wait there.
Okay. In
Ready
the
and
courtyard,
waiting.
there is now an established, goodness, what's it called? The spiral staircase. There are a few of them throughout the city because the Wantai do not prefer to be above ground. Sorry, the E1T do not prefer to be above ground, and have instead created a sub-city underneath, roughly 3,000 strong. As you get your coffee, how do you feel about the various looks you're getting? You kind of sit down in the courtyard, the statue's there, and you know, every now and then a kid will be like, "Oh, mom, it's Brady. It's the person that did the thing." I can't remember. Did we have a statue for the bear, George? Did you put a statue for the bear up? I think you insisted.
There's 100%
Yeah.
a statue.
Okay, so Rip
And it is
Bear.
much larger than it actually should be.
I feel like the bear is actually like towering over the rest of
Yeah,
us. And we're all,
exactly.
like,
Protectively,
it's-
especially
Okay,
in front of
would it
Brady.
be, or would it not be seen as that Crichton also left when I left?
Crichton did leave when you left.
So he wouldn't have been able to instruct that unless everybody else in the group did.
So it would be normal bear because we definitely remember. Bear.
Normal bear. Yeah, let's not get dead bear's
And-
ego up there. Like, it's
If
a
it was up to
normal
Brady,
bear.
though, it would have been Tiny Bear.
It's a
Aw.
tiny bear. It's a
There-
tiny
there-
bear on the
I
back
have
of
to
Crichton.
concede this point.
let's say
But
there
I'll
was
remember that.
George will remember this.
It's little bear boy. Okay.
Crichton is not gone for good. He has gone off to train under Sovas, the archdruid that lives deep underground in a tree. More on that later. I got so much to unpack, but I think I've done a decent job kind of painting the overall half-year picture. Thranduin. Exit stage under.
Yeah,
From the
okay,
trapdoor below of the stage.
So where in Dragon's End is this
The courtyard before the inn.
Okay. And this is how far away from where Brady is?
As you come up, you can see her eagerly waiting with two mugs of coffee.
Okay, so she knows that this is the one spot to come up and down. Okay. Come up, dust myself off because underground, dark places,
Mm-hmm.
gross. And I'll make eye contact and meet her over there.
Okay.
Obviously, give him the coffee. After goes to give it, then pulls back and goes, You know, you're getting a lot better about not coming back completely covered in dirt. You're making improvements.
I do what I can. If only I can get these. You know, once you to brew a decent cup of coffee down there, then we'll be in business.
That would be the day, wouldn't it?
Coffee
Then
does
I
not
might
grow
have
on
to
this
go for
island
that.
until the Endeavor showed up and found they were able to grow it as well. Also, fun fact, I forgot to write this down, you have discovered nutmeg on this island. More on that later.
So how was your trip?
As usual, it's long and I feel like nothing gets done as quickly as I would like it to.
Well, you're making great progress, so at least give yourself that.
Yes.
I hate to, you know, throw this on you just as you got back, but once you're done with that cup of coffee, I think we have some things to talk about.
Oh, sure. What's on your mind?
Not here. We might want to go somewhere away from prying eyes and ears.
Fair enough.
The two of them furtively find a back corner in the tavern and looking around, and you do see a few snake folk. Oh man, I think
Say it again, guys. He was gonna say.
prowling about as well within the tavern, and at your instruction, you know, they kind of give you some space. Of course, you also have dwarves, a couple of firbolgs, elves of various kinds, and a lot of humans.
Just to confirm before I go forward, he doesn't know anything yet, right?
Correct. What you did was you well, you can tell him. You can tell the chat. You gave him a bit of information.
You can probably tell it.
Okay, so Brady has finally decided that she can trust Thranduin. After testing him, she confided in him that she was in fact of noble blood. And when after half a year or so, no one else seems to know. And you've decided you can trust him. He has kept your secret. And being a slave previously, Thranduin doesn't seem to hold any animosity towards you and has consistently gone out of his way to be there for you and be your friend.
Okay, so she's kind of doing a fidgety thing with the cup where she's like doing that with it a little bit, just kind of trying to keep a little occupied. She's going to be like, so, you have obviously been a great friend to me during this time, and I know that despite my past that you judge me for who I am and not where I come from, and I really, really appreciate that. But I have something pretty scary to tell you. There is a group from my past that has come back. Originally, my goal was to get away from them. Very, very bad people. And the moment we came back to Dragon's End, they made contact with me on like the first night. I've just been. They've been kind of having me do things here and there, but I've been meeting with someone, and I think I know who that person is, and I was really hoping you would assist me on capturing him.
As your stressed words kind of settle on Thranduin and he kind of pieces that together, the flump kind of turns an angry red, a defensive, protective, angry.
Angry blue.
There it is. Thank you, an angry blue. Thranduin.
You know I've got your back, Brady. Whatever you need.
Okay, because it could. I don't know how. I don't know how far they're willing to go. So you getting involved could be very dangerous, but I think if we work together on this, we could start to figure some things out. Because I can't remember anything from this period of time when I first met them. It's all just gone. So I don't know what they're capable of or what they even really want.
So you're not the only one who left running away from your past.
Yeah, I thought for sure this random island would be safe, but they're kind of everywhere, I think. So what I know so far of who's I've been meeting with, and they've been giving me these tasks, I believe it's Sota, the guy who sells fish in the market. I think that's him, and I just haven't been able to get him alone in order to confront him about it or to find anything else out, and I really, really need your help.
When do we start?
Now. As soon as possible. I want to get this done and over with.
The
All
two
right.
of you
Let's make a plan.
get up and make your way towards the market. A human, hunched, kind of crinkled, a long, wispy white beard. You can see right through it. Sitting there, surprisingly young, muscular, but hunched, squinty, is arguing with a halfling over the nature of fish. The fish don't look fresh, and we'll get to that. Otto has been spending a great amount of time playing cat and mouse with Theros. As we know, Theros has been established in this island for a long time. He has the ability to teleport to anywhere where he once has been before. And as such, he has, over the years of Gent being out of commission, establishing bunker holes. Various establishments where he can boop back and forth, and he has been selling magical items that he's been gathering throughout the realm, as well as the northern continent. Collecting them, and in last chapter's case, shrinking down and declawing bears to sell to noble princesses.
Yeah, you know how you get caught up in that pyramid scheme and everything.
You guys like energy drinks?
Let me give you my 2-hour pitch real quick about shrunken bears.
As over the course of half a year, with the help of Naked Guy, Otto has been mapping out the island, delving into dwarven ruins and giant ruins alike on the surface and below. And strictly just raiding Theros's various safe bunkers, safe bolt holes, if you will. Disarming traps, almost getting caught by traps, and
Also planning traps.
setting new traps to be sprung when Theros pops back in. And you can tell that there's a bit of a frenemy relationship building, because the traps over the half year have become much more complicated and hard to find, but less lethal. Theros has not set any traps that automatically killed people in roughly 3 or 4 months. And you see this as, an opportunity.
Yeah, I do.
Coming out of such a bolt hole, you stepped out from a supposedly dead tree. which clearly had some kind of illusion magic on it that just led down into a stone basement. You have managed to get a hold of a bag of holding. You were not able to get very far into the room because you literally couldn't. But you did manage to get to the bag of holding. With your treasure, you step out. Naked guy waiting for you.
Oh, god dang! All right. Well, at least you didn't put the lightning bolt next to the door this time, which is very good.
He, with sign language, says that was particularly clever. Your hair stood up for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, it looked like a porcupine for a little bit there. All right, let me see this, and I go ahead and I pull out the whole map that we've kind of created over this time frame of just kind of dealing with them. I was like, all right, and we're just kind of like hunkering down in front of it because most of the time we haven't gotten hit. Like, we've been very good about not actually like crossing paths with Theros. It's just been like we pop up and it's kind of we leave these little love letters behind us of like see you next time, boo. Like
in the form of traps.
In the form of traps most of the time, yes. And so like we know he's probably not gonna be, but like the reason why we chose this place is we cased it for a while. We knew he wasn't coming back for a little while at least. We figured out that pattern. So we've got this map open. I'm just gonna be all right. Let's see where are we going next. We checked out.
You are in a clearing, a warm clearing. You just now notice it, and as you're doing that, you don't notice naked guy kind of signing to you, in a furtive manner.
No, stop. So I'm trying to look at this.
He finally just kind of elbows you.
What?
He is not looking at you. He is looking across the green glade. There is a large feln, almost Stonehenge-esque pillar of rock, old, with runes in it. And on top of it, a fawn. She is humming. There is a dragonfly on her single horn, and you are watching as a flower is growing out of the stone.
They weren't there before, were they? No.
He looks at ease.
He looks at ease.
Mm-hmm. He smiles.
Friend of yours?
gently.
Friend, you know her? All right, well, come on, introduce.
He goes,
Are you saying you guys are friends and you haven't actually talked?
you know I can't talk.
He can talk.
He doesn't
He can talk
prefer-
now.
He can sign.
He's got Hulk Ragnarok-esque
He doesn't like
communication. We established this, Jeff.
He tentatively steps out into the clearing, the sun kind of breaking across him, and he does the one single stamp, and you hear it. Terra, you note, you see, I don't know what you would call him, the
I don't know.
wild man who is also native born, one of the few who, like you, avoids the evil natives of this land. And he has protected you before. You have protected him. The both of you have crossed paths many times. One time you gave him a dragonfly from a particular meadow to the northeast that he took, and the party would know that that is what gave Crichton his druidic powers. He kind of stamps, and he seems not tense, especially not towards you, but he is kind of looking behind him a little bit. go ahead and make a perception check. First roll.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yay! Let's see. 18.
18. There is a horned silhouette in the shadows stepping out from one of those trees you've been avoiding for its illusory magic.
Oh.
And well clothed, and naked guy himself. You haven't seen him in a while. He has clothes on. He has of foreign make. You know that there have been many more prints about along the forested floor these days, but you have not yet met any of the newcomers to this island.
Awesome. I will stop my humming. I'm going to take the flower that's bloomed and I'm going to tuck it into my little flower crown, and I'm going to jump off of the rock that I'm on. I'm just going to wander over kind of slow. I'm going to keep my distance just a little bit from the other person behind him and be like, hey, wild guy, long time no see. How you been? I like your new look.
He kind of
Yeah, they look great. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take that flower, and as I get closer, I'm gonna get ready to pin it on anywhere on his shirt.
He kind of bends over so that you can do it.
Perfect.
He then pulls out a stone. This stone was given to him by his best friend. You can see that he cherishes it very much. He has great value for this stone, and he shows it. And this was a custom that maybe you are familiar with, the giving of stone. And he gestures to the tiefling.
Oh, hi there. You must be his friend. Hi, I'm Tara.
Hi. Buddy, who is this?
This is her.
Thanks for the information, buddy.
Does
All right.
kind of does a head pat.
I'm just like look at him.
Is friend.
You're like, oh, this.
I'm Otto, and clearly you two are already introduced.
Of course. How do you two know each other?
Oh, that's a funny story. So, we were killing some natives, right?
Tell her about the time that Crichton kicked Theros off the cliff.
Oh, that was a good time, man. Yeah, we were first introduced to each other when we were dealing with some natives, and I was shooting arrows at him, and he kind of just dropped in, twisted the neck off of one of them while I was dealing with that. Yeah, he does that. He's really proficient in that. He's gotten proficient in a lot of other things, thankfully, but he's a really good head ripper offer.
Yes. Yes, he's protected me many a times.
Yeah, he's good with that. But besides that, we've kind of we've definitely gotten a bit of a brotherhood going on, and it's been good. We've been having a lot of fun. I don't know if you know who Theros is.
Theros would be an individual that she has successfully avoided.
Avoided or had
Avoided.
any kind of... So she doesn't know anything about him.
She knows that he is linked to Gent. And Gent is someone that she has never had an interest in.
So acquainted, but not interacted.
Yes. I know of him, but I definitely try and keep my distance.
Yeah, so we don't anymore. It's actually a lot more fun to bug the crap out of him and steal his crap.
Okay, very brave, the two of you, indeed.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I just got this bag of holding from that place over there.
Oh.
Crichton, sorry. Naked guy sticks his whole arm into the bag.
Wow. That could be very helpful.
He starts to laugh and then stops. And he looks. And you feel the winds shifting. No surprise to Tara, but Otto, you smell salt water. And you look down at your map and you realize you're actually pretty close to the coast. And naked guy starts walking northerly, kind of gesturing for specifically Otto to come with.
What you got this time, buddy? If you want to join us, we're going this way. But I mean, when he gets a scent of something, I usually just let him follow it.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to hear more stories about what you two have been up to. It's been so long.
It's gonna be a great one. There's this time when we threw a guy off a cliff.
Oh,
And so the party continues onward. Tara learning more.
I'll walk
kind
on
of-
the other side of
Sure.
Other
starts-
side of the cliff.
through the little bits of information alongside the stories, you start piecing together that there have been big things happening. This whole time you can kind of piecing together, like, I've never seen a tiefling before. I've never, this is an interesting thing. These clothes I don't recognize. Most natives around here wear, somewhat cured leathers and bones. They have buttons and pockets, and
It's got pockets.
and you start learning that there is an entire new people that have come to this island. And from what you learn from Otto, they are not necessarily the good guys. But you do know and trust Naked Guy, the wild man. And he seems to not only be very protective of this tiefling, but sees himself as brother. At some point you learn that the firefly was used to create a whole new druid. And you can do with that information as you like. You get relatively caught up to speed. You don't yet know of Thranduin's patronage to Gent, but you do learn a lot about the Endeavor and those folk. You also learn that Theros specifically was the one that caused the wildfire. More on that later. Otto's story is cut short as they come through the foliage to the cliff face and sees ships, many ships, and not Endeavor ships. Looking northward, black sails. Slowly, maybe 300 ships. A fleet slowly spreading out to, assumedly, blockade the island.
that's a lot of new people.
And they're not ours.
Otto, make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Yes, he is fully clothed now. We just Otto hasn't revealed his new name yet.
That's
if
gonna
you
be a
have one.
nat 20, so that's 21.
Nice. These ships are smaller, not meant to travel for a year. They are not laden down with cannons. They have trebuchets and ballista. Not a lot of metalwork at all. This fleet was made only for war. Black sails, again, tarred sides. Some of them have seen battle before. You can see people running along the tops of the prow, and armed forces. Specifically, no guns, no gunpowder to be seen at all. The ships are not as developed. They are lower in tech, if you will. Single sail, slow, but powerfully built. Very tanky.
How far away are they?
They are very far away.
They're very far, so
yeah,
they
they're
can't see
not-
us. We can just kind of.
Probably not. But, wonders never cease.
It's true. Oh, this it doesn't look good.
Mm-mm.
What do you think? What do you think, buddy? Good talk, buddy. I guess I just look at his face and he's scowling. And so Otto's just getting kind of upset because he's actually been enjoying the last 6 months
Sure.
of just complete, just
Raids.
not necessarily shenanigans, but getting to learn his new world on his own and with Naked Guy. But he's definitely realizing that this is a situation where these are new threats, and he's not sure if the group technically knows about what's about to happen. So, before I even do that, I'm gonna get out my my speaking stone.
There it is.
Is it speaking stone? What like? Yeah,
It can start a two-way conversation.
signing stone, speaking stone. I forget what. we
Sending
call it.
stones.
Sending stone. Thank you. I want to not sound like an idiot when I say things. So the sending stone. All right, and I was like, I'll be right back. I gotta make a call.
A what? I'll look up at Naked Guy.
I can't talk right now. I
He
gotta do
tries to
teeth
kind
and
of
shit.
mime, like he's like, Rock, talk to Rock, stands all the way over, like 20 paces away. Here's Rock. Oh, understands Rock.
Oh, okay, I see. He talks to the earth like I do. Got it. Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna.
You go back into the clearing.
Yeah. I'm a tap on the rock and just be like, hello.
So the whole, and they're shuffling through the market probably, I assume.
Mhm.
The whole point of sending you with this stone is so that when we contact you, you contact us back.
Hey.
Taps her. Is that Otto? Is that Otto? Where has
Yes,
he been?
Where have you been?
Yeah, we've
Hold it between the two of us like we're...
I know, but I mean, it gets lost between Naked Guy's butt cheeks. It's really hard to smell, or it's really easy to smell it. It's not so easy to hear it.
We have pockets, pockets.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's his prison pocket.
Oh.
Brady, we're
Anyways.
marking this one, and we're never touching the other one. Okay?
Carves a little.
I dare you to
nick into
figure
this
out
one.
which one when I get back, because I got some information.
Oh, trust me, I've already painted mine pink. No.
That's weirder than me putting it other places. Anyway, so we're gonna we need to have a talk. Are you guys still at Dragon's End?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys know anything about any new ships coming into town?
Brady's gonna look at Thranduin like, I don't know, do you know?
You'd know better than I would. I've been underground.
You guys
have
kind
I
of-
heard anything?
You guys kind of
About
glance out to the
potentials?
port, and you don't see anything unusual.
What do you mean ships? There aren't any ships. Not any besides the ones that are already here.
That's what I'm afraid to hear.
I will
I
say
don't know what
these ships are coming from the north, which is, as you know, there is a.
Are they
northern
coming
continent
to
there.
the direction of Dragon's End?
They're just getting to the island and then spreading out to slowly encompass it.
Oh, so we can see them from where we are.
They're not to you yet, no, because he is in the
no.
northernmost part of the island.
So we're
and
at
you
the
are
northern part of
yeah, and y'all are at the westernmost.
And Brady wouldn't have heard anything because this is from the north, right? So any conversations she would have had with higher ups, she wouldn't have heard about this.
Correct. There has been no speak of in the council to their ambassadors of any kind of large force of military. The talks have been very peaceful and welcoming.
Yeah.
So Otto, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
Well, so we're up in the north right now. I'm not going to give specifics on where we're at, but we just saw a fleet of about 300 battle-hardened ships coming into
800.
our area from the north.
Now, 300, I'm assuming vastly outnumbers what we have.
We have 8.
No, it's 800 battleships.
Oh, I thought you said 300. Sorry.
No, my bad.
800. Okay.
I
About
heard 300 too.
So that's a
I
lot
heard 300
more.
too,
That's like,
yeah.
yeah. Do you have 300 too?
Yeah, I heard 300 too.
Yeah.
Did I mess that up?
Yeah, you messed
Oh,
it
my
up.
bad.
Don't try to retcon me for
No,
knowing.
my
I would have been a lot
apologies.
more scared if I heard 800
Yeah.
the first time.
My apologies.
I know what I'm
I did the
saying.
math yesterday. It would take roughly 800 ships to successfully blockade this island. It is a very large island.
Okay, well, I know math. So 800 ships.
800 ships. 800 strong.
So I said that instead.
Fair.
Thranduin, you really haven't heard anything about any ships coming in?
No.
Okay.
By my
The ones
brain
who
of
aren't exactly
intelligence,
informed
I'd
in
say
that.
it's about enough to go ahead and surround the entire island.
Oh boy.
That's a problem.
Yeah. So I just like, if you guys don't know about this, what do you guys want to do about it?
Well, I'm sure there'll be a town meeting soon. I should probably bring it up to them and see what.
I don't know if we can wait for a town meeting.
We do have the poll. We could call one to. We could do it now.
Okay, Otto. So we have
How-
something we're in the middle of. We'll do what we can on our end to see what's going on. But
Are
do
you,
you want
Are
to?
you coming back, or how far
Yeah.
out?
I mean, do you really need us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of the guys here, they're just not as smart, and we can only do so much. So you're the one who saw the boats, so we're gonna need you, to come back.
You know what, Brady? I could have just gone with the yes. You don't have to patronize me. All right, I'll be there soon.
Thank you. Can't wait to see you. They have coffee here.
I don't know what that is. Bye.
They have beds.
Yeah, there you go. You should have said that. So
You just, as you're putting this stone away, you just hear beds.
Dang, I haven't had a good
beds,
bed in a
guys.
while.
No, I probably used enough of Theros's at this point.
Which were also eventually very trapped.
Yeah, probably at some point.
At one point,
I
you
got
were
wise to it.
tacoed and very much stuck for a while.
He's like one away from replacing his bed with a mimic.
Just like to make the guy know, it's like, put the candle back. All right, so I'm gonna put the sending stone away, and I'm gonna head back over to Terra and Naked Guy, and I'm gonna be like, so we got a problem. We need to head back to kind of our main city to figure out what we're gonna do about this new situation. I mean, you can join us if you want. I don't know if you've ever seen a town before.
I'm interested enough to check it out, but we definitely need to talk to. These are you guys? These are with you guys.
No,
these ships.
not those. No,
No.
that's the
Oh.
problem. And we gotta figure out a situation. And I'm gonna just look over at Naked Guy, and I'm gonna assign to him though this as not to completely freak out Terra, but just like sign to Naked Guy. It's like, this could be trouble. They're not with Dragon's End. We gotta head back to town.
She is powerful friend.
Well, then let's make sure that she tags along, because we could use everything that we got if there's this many ships.
He like stops you. if she
I'm
wants.
just looking between them, and I'm like, this is fun.
Yeah, if she wants, she should be allowed to leave anytime she wishes.
Absolutely. It's like, and I'm gonna like to him. It's like, you know me. Like,
I
I'm
know
going
you-
to stop anyone from doing anything.
I know your people.
You know my people, but you know me better.
This
You
is
think
true.
I'm gonna let someone get away with holding her back?
We are of the same mind.
We'll get distracted by a hummingbird.
Okay. Intense grunts and flailing.
Okay. Yes. Yes. I would love to help fix this problem. Where? Take me to this teen
To town.
Town?
Town.
town. Okay.
Great.
Sure.
Tell her
Well,
about the time we killed a dragon.
oh yeah. So there's a nice story about the town, and we're just gonna head off.
Yes.
Oh.
And for the future note, that dragon was a constant thorn in your side. And hearing of its death, you would not cry for. So, let's cut over to the one and only GoodGriefGeorge.
Yay! It's only under an hour this
Yeah, I
time.
managed to get it under an hour.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for this. All right. So soon.
Fisbin Ramsey. A 70-year-old dragonborn. In plate armor, not made of metal, but in fact made of toughened glass. Stands at the prow of a ship. Before you, your sail, a deep royal blue, that of House Thorn, of which Ramsey is pledged to. With a golden lightning bolt. You watch the fleet before you on the horizon, the fleet of black sails that belong to House Toil. And you're weighing your options. You're thinking about how you might go about this. Walking up next to you, Theros leans on the prow and goes, "You know, when I raised the alarm about this fleet, when I went to your boss, Edirm of House Thorn, I really thought he would send more than just you. You know, I didn't. Do you think you're up for the task?"
Fisbin will get very close to Theros, place a clawed finger up to his mouth. First of all, he is not my boss. That belongs to my daughter. She just so happens to rule part of Ramsey and is now in charge of the prison where I hail.
Yes, of
You'll be
course.
wise to listen to me. Secondly, you're not wrong. This is a very big problem.
But surely an inquisitor of the cloth and of the glass, such as yourself, herald of the Stormfather. Surely you've got a few tricks up your sleeves.
Maybe one or two. I think I've got a thunderbolt spell in my pocket somewhere. Maybe.
Thunderbolt spell, yes, of course.
Yes.
Well, I guess one upside would be how attacking you would be risky, to say the least.
risking? You mean they risk bringing down the entire might of Thorn on top of them? No, they will not do that. No, no, no. That is the whole point, you see. I am the sharp end of the thorn.
Ah. He kind of looks to the 800 ships. I am interested to see how this goes.
How do you think they're going to land?
House Toil is completely composite of cutthroats, murderers, backstabbers, and douchebags. I would not be surprised. Well, they didn't send assassins. If I had to guess, this is a Hail Mary. They want to deal with this swiftly and quietly. Well, not quietly, but all-encompassing might be their move. This is pretty much their entire navy.
Well, I don't like it, but I do respect their decisions. It is a bit of a tactical move.
Rest
We
assured.
may have to land there very shortly after. Otherwise, there may be trouble.
Well, we've got the sails, and he knocks the mast. With this going, and with you courageously posed at the prow, assumedly they'll just let us right through. God, I hope so.
Yes, I'll hail the storm, Father. Hail Hydrate.
Yes. Speaking of, how does it feel to have the sun on your face? He kind of laughs.
It is very much different from the volcanic ash that I wake from every day, yes.
Well, I'm sure this will go swimmingly. Hail Hydrate.
Hail Hydrate.
Anything else you want to ask him?
Swimmingly, I see what you did there. Why don't you pop on over and let someone know we're arriving?
Oh, and ruin your dramatic entrance? I'd rather be on the boat and watch it happen. And therefore, I might bask in some of the shared glory as the savior, the one who reached out to House Thorn and brought them a single inquisitor.
See what you're doing? I'm okay with it.
He chuckles. This'll go great. This'll be fine. Let us cut over to Brady and Thranduin. You have spent some time with whatever the equivalent of newspapers is, peering at Sota. And he seems like just a dude. He seems very unbecoming. The entire posture is different. The only thing that you have been able to track down, aside from following him to various places, you firmly believe you have the right person. The wispy beard is quite distinct. It's like peach fuzz if they just never cut the thing.
Can we say during this time I have filled Thranduin in on what I know as of right now?
Yep. You have been, on behalf of the Held Breath, gathering intel of all of the prominent individuals and finding potential blackmail material. You've had to break into a few houses here and there. You've become kind of buddy-buddy with a few notable council members, as well as maybe the council members' wives and or husbands, and through the network of orphans that Dayton now has, you have been able to kind of map together a bit of a network of people who, assumedly, the Held Breath is attempting to keep tabs on and manipulate in the future. The big thing that you've noticed is that they themselves are importing people and exporting people. Boats in the night, as it were.
Okay. So that's where those people have been going.
There is a kind of a ramshackle house. It's one of the only wooden ones left behind him, in front of his little kiosk of. They're not rotten, but they don't smell great, you know, of the fish. He seems to be eternally bantering with this halfling, and it looks so casual. If it hadn't been for the hour-long banter, it would have seemed mundane. But he seems to be there as well, almost posted up, maybe in guard, maybe on lookout, maybe as potential backup if things go south. He doesn't seem to leave. And again, busy marketplace. You can see the port from here.
Do we know the, you said it's a halfling, right? Do we know the halfling? Like, do we know anything about this halfling?
He is a very cranky
particular?
individual. You don't know anything really about him, but he is just constantly just bashing this man's fish.
He just never leaves.
Do you think it's possible that they know we're here?
Maybe? What, do you think we need to come back later?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think if we could just get him away from the stall and out of sight, maybe even into the building behind him.
How close to what's his name?
Sota.
Sota. How close are you to Sota? Have you talked to him personally?
It's
or-
been whispered.
Yeah, but
Harsh
has Brady
conversations.
talked openly with Sota, the fish stall?
Oh, in
Guy.
the norm? No.
No. Okay, no.
And she suspects that he's like the one in charge of all this.
No, she is able to confirm that this is her contact.
Oh, okay.
Or
Okay.
like the guy giving me all the to-dos.
The orders and such.
Okay. So they've been in contact, but not personally, and it's like. Okay.
I'm telling you, I'm sure it is him, though.
How does he contact you usually? By note or messenger or?
He will leave a marking in her room in some way, which she was never able to ascertain how. Dang it, Pillowsuit. He'll hydrate.
Has Brady ever been able to do one back? Has there ever been discussion of, well, if you need to contact me?
No. They have no interest in letting you contact them. They have been positioning themselves to have all the power, all the standing.
So, usually, when he wants to contact me, he gives me, he puts a symbol. What if I did the symbol on a piece of paper and then left it and bought some fish? Is that too bold?
He might be able to piece together that it was you if he was observant enough to see you buy the fish.
I do
Let me see,
believe
what-
you guys
what is
have
the
some
symbol?
shenanigan spells you could apply to this situation.
Yeah, I've got an idea.
Oh, my bad.
What is it? What does the symbol look like?
Pulls
It's-
out notebook.
Yeah, and it's the same branded mark that you have in your shoulder.
which I don't think Thranduin would know about yet.
Probably not. But
Maybe.
regardless, you're very familiar with the symbol and can sketch it out.
Oh, yeah.
How like you said that Brady is noticeable throughout
Well,
the
both of you
Dragon's
are.
Den.
You're famed folk.
Right, and I would say me probably more so having trouble fitting in since I'm a part drow.
Potentially, you have not met any animosity for being drow. Not to your face. You are known and have a reputation, and that kind of supersedes the racism.
How far away are we from them right now?
You're across the court. You're across the marketplace. Kind of in an alley. You know, you're not like just obviously standing there watching them.
Right.
You're not stealthed, but you are relatively blended in. The average person wouldn't see you unless they happen to look into the alley, which isn't really an alley. It's just between two buildings.
Right. So it's not like super sus.
Nah.
The area between in between two buildings, by the way, is called an alley.
But it's not
Thank
an
you.
alley though.
It's not a
different.
shady alley. There's no road.
So
it's packed earth.
I'll walk by as if I'm like kind of perusing the market.
Okay.
Kind of like the stalls nearby, just not
One
interested
dwarf
in them at all.
calls out to you. Oh, if it isn't the Thranduin Dragon Slayer, prophet of the wind, and whatever it is they believe. May I interest you in some of me baubles?
Oh yes, what do you have?
He starts showing these little trinkets and charms and bracelets and stuff like that, and he's just talking them up. And he's like, for you, I'll bring it down to half price. You saved our asses after it all.
Oh, so generous. And now while
Yes.
I'm talking to him, I'm gonna kind of just like, look at a few things here and there, and just kind of glance over at the next stall.
Okay, make a perception check.
And okay.
Sorry, I mean, by all means, finish your sentence. Tara, I do this sometimes. I jump the gun.
16.
16. Okay. You can see, as his hands are under the table itself, the kind of the kiosk, so you can't see past it if you're on the other side. He is taking a fish, and he's taking a slip of the blue metal, and he's slipping it into the mouth of the fish. And as an individual comes, he, for the first time, you guys see him sell a fish. And the halfling, what do you do? So why would you buy fish here? That's the worst fish. All right, he's gone. Anyway, so your fish is absolute, just the worst, and just going on. He swapped some copper, very, very low currency for the fish. But you realize that he is handing out blue deific essence of gent. The blue metal that you are getting very familiar with.
Right. And did I get a good look at the person who bought it?
His hood was up, but yes. You caught just a little bit of patchy goatee, black. Darker skin. But finer features.
Like nobly?
Pointy. Like very chiseled.
Sharp?
Sharp jaw. What was your perception check?
16.
16? Okay, yeah, that.
Okay. So when I initially looked over, I want to just, as I'm, conversating with the dwarf and, messing with this bauble, I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation
Okay.
on the stall where Boyo's at.
Okay.
And I'm going to make an illusory image of the mark.
On just floating, or sorry?
It's going to be like on the surface of the desk or the table or whatever it is that is thing.
Of the fisherman's kiosk?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you
you
do
can
that.
see it. It's gonna.
It takes a second, and
I'm not even gonna really look,
mm-hmm.
because I can just cast and whatever, and I'm just gonna continue on with my conversation.
Yeah.
So Brady can watch the reaction.
Okay. So while the dwarf is showing you how this puzzle works, and it's just various interlocking rings, and he's super about it, you cast that, and the insignia kind of appears in one corner by his hand. Brady, you watch as he's kind of mid argument, and you get to the point where you realize he has he's just arguing the same thing over and over. They're on a bit of a loop. And you see him like miss a sentence, and he like and he kind of looks around in confusion, and he says something under his breath to the halfling, and takes a fish, and he just puts it on the mark to conceal it. And kind of looks around a bit. Hail Hydra.
Would I be able to have heard what he whispered?
Yeah.
Perception check.
Come on, Thranduin. Get the juicy details.
18.
18.
So maybe.
He kind of sees it and goes, "Your apprentices are getting sloppy." What are you talking about? I said your apprentices are getting sloppy. And he goes, "Bones without soup." Some kind of coded word, and he goes, "Right, well," and he just kind of goes and stands on the other side of the kiosk, the halfling. Sota kind of hunches forward and is now a bit on alert because he's confused. And no one pointedly approaches now because assumedly the halfling is on the other side of the kiosk.
I'll just I'm kind of curious now to what kind of baubles this guy has for real though.
Interlocking rings and puzzles and Rubik's cubes-esque. You ever see those like triangular horn things that if you do it the right way, they all kind of become a nice unilateral
He's
shape.
basically the Brookstone of
That's
Dragon's
it
End.
exactly. He's Brookstone Dwarf. That's his name.
Alright, so I'll they're half off, so I'll buy one. Also to keep cover.
I'm greatly honored that you would have one of these, and if there's anything else at all that you need, my house to yours, of course.
Thank
To
you.
yours. And he
I will-
bows. Puts his hat back on.
Back. And I'll head back, not directly to Brady, but kind of just mosey on and then make my way back.
You hear him start
Yeah.
making something on a sign, and as and as you're casually taking your time to mosey through the crowd back to Brady, Brady notices endorsed by Thranduin on a sign.
That's awesome. So
once I'm-
Yeah, he
Oh,
gets
sorry, go
back.
ahead.
He gets back to Brady.
I was gonna say, maybe Brady kind of moves also, like, away as well, just in case they could have seen her, and it's not super obvious that he left and then came back. So they kind of like meet around somewhere nearby.
Sure. Sure.
And I'll relay all the information that I heard and saw to Brady.
Okay.
she's gonna like hit his arm and go, nice. All right, that's something. That's something.
Does that what was it? Bones
Bones without soup.
bones without soup.
Bones
Does that mean
without
anything
soup.
to you?
It does not. Seems to be a one-time passcode that the two of them have worked out.
No, I've never heard it before. Never been told anything. But I feel like that confirms it, right? That's our guy.
It's more of a lead than
Okay, maybe
probably.
maybe we come back later once he closes the stall.
So, to your surprise, as you're talking about various ideas of what to do next, he actually closes right then and there, kind of putting all of his, all of his fish into a crate, and he just
Oh.
dumping salt on it, and closing up shop, and the halfling and him enter into the house. Behind him, the ramshackle building. I will also say that due to Tara's druidic shenanigans and her proficiency with this island, you guys, the three of you, Otto, Naked Guy, and Tara, make incredibly quick travel towards the island, towards Dragon's End. Especially now that the dragon is out of the way. You are able to take paths that you have long not been able to take because of the dragon slinking out from underground after coming to a certain age and size. Roughly half the day has passed. Various underground tunnels and various shortcuts through glades and forests that when you're looking at your map, Otto, and you're like, I should be here, but through this forest we seem to, this doesn't make super sense. We're a lot further along than we should have been, and you're not sure if it's like a pocket dimension thing or if there's some kind of magic going on here. But long before, you thought it'd be a couple days till you get there, but you come around a corner and you can see the craglands to the north, the lake that has long since been cleaned of the flotsam of your fleet and the Lord of Flies children, and past that you can
what's up with them? Like, we haven't
that is now an orphanage that
I guess I wouldn't
Dayton
know.
runs. That is also more than an orphanage.
It's also a battleground.
Yeah, it's also like
It's
a
a
martial
arena
arts.
for children.
It's also like a martial arts dojo-esque orphanage.
Toddler Spartacus, blood and sand.
Yeah. Are you not entertained?
It's a monastery then, right?
Yeah, she's established essentially a monastery. But that is a little ways outside of town. Yeah, you come into view of the town. Tara, you see civilization for the first time.
Whoa. That seems a little intimidating. I'm gonna look up at Naked Guy and just kind of like take one step closer to him, to be slightly
He's
behind
like-
him.
He does a thing where it's like, they have this thing, and it's just the best. And he's literally just talking about like cooked meals. It's just like they have these things called burgers, essentially. Just like they made salads. There's a thing called ranch. Like the fantasy equivalent of.
We found this hidden valley
starts
in
kind
the
of
Terraform
miming.
area.
Yeah. He goes on to tell you of the finer things that you can get from civilization, while also saying, watch your step, watch your back. I'll keep you safe. We'll keep you safe, kind of a thing.
Okay.
it'll take roughly an hour or so to get into town. Hermit discovers McDonald's. This meal is not the happiest, but
Oh my goodness, I'm loving it.
where's our check, McDonald's?
Makes me want to sing a song. I'm not going to do it because I'm pretty sure it's licensed.
It is. Yes, Brady.
So, at some point, Brady will have told Thranduin, she's like, obviously I trust you, but maybe we keep this between us as much as possible, knowing that Otto was supposed to be coming back into town.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
If you think that he can help, then that'll be your decision to make.
I just know I wasn't his most trusted person in the group, so...
Yeah, well, secrets don't make
True.
friends.
Speaking of secrets, before I come across any sort of human, I am going to cast Druidcraft on my singular horn. You'll see one of my horns is broken off, and then I just have one that's like slightly tried to compensate for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I Druidcraft that to look like a giant leaf on the top of my head
Oh,
to
that's
hide the
awesome.
fact that I have just one.
Okay. Cool.
It's embarrassing.
Aw. Anything else you guys want to cover before we go back to Brady and Otto? Sorry, before we go back to Brady and Thranduin. I literally
like, wait,
almost
what?
all
I was
of
gonna
you
say,
went.
that's super fast. I don't know how these roots are working anymore. But I walk
Now
out
they
from the forest
teleported.
and I immediately
Oh.
bump into Brady.
Yeah, you're like, man, this was a forest. Now it's an alley. I'm very confused, but it's not an alley.
I
It's
somehow
between-"
casted Tree Stride on all of us, and I'm taking us all through the trees.
There you go.
When you said terraform, you weren't kidding.
All right, so we go then to Brady and Thranduin.
So we saw him pack up. Did we, during this time, how much time has passed between him packing up and now?
Couple
I
of
guess?
minutes.
Oh, okay.
You watch
Just making
as
sure.
as the crowd kind of parts for some of the members of the path. Kind of are walking through, kind of looking about. They have various weapons and not really any armor, but they're more like a group of thugs than anything else. More than they are militant, because there's still guards and the like, and there's still a military to be had in Dragon's End. But this is the church's strongmen. Kind of grouped around. They're just kind of looking around. One of them kind of looks up at the sign that says endorsed by Thranduin for Brookstone the dwarf, and he kind of goes, and he kind of keeps walking. Brookstone
Just kidding.
kind of thinks about it, and seems as if for a second he might take it down. And then, well, yeah, he keeps it.
Aw.
Nice.
That was a little weird. Do we know anything about these the church?
The Church of the
People you
Path
just-
is the established religion in the Endeavor. And pointedly, they are not a magical religion. There is no deific magic to be seen because the Endeavor have no gods left. They have long since gone to the eternal sleep. And so there are no clerics, paladins, or monks or anything of that nature that can be found from the Church of the Path. But recently, Tariff, the head monarch of the Church of the Path, the kind of religious leader and a member of the council, has been very clearly been flexing the abilities of that of a bard, as well as his three leaders. He is the monarch. There is the hand, the mouth, and the eye of the path. His three kind of strong men, and they have been very recently showing signs of paladin or cleric or monk, respectively. But historically speaking, the church has had no magic aside from magical items that have been long held over. The church was the one to discover through scrying, much like a Palantir from Lord of the Rings, this island in the first place. We're actually going to take a quick break, and we will return then. Trying to get better at fading out the music. I'll have a button for that soon. So.
Chef, unmod Nightbot. Yeah, that bastage.
Hey, what's up, Cloudy Kate? Yeah, sorry, I don't. Oh, Nightbot is famously
Nightbot's been a
gimmicky. Nightbot is gimmicky the first time you install it. Generally, sorry about that, Cloudy Kate. Hey, it's good to see you. I hope you're well. Dayton is running a orphanage / monastery, and Brady has been able to make use of the network of information. Wow, I look different. Back to blonde. You have 2 colored eyes now. It's very strange. Goodness.
It's like, whoa.
I can unmod it, but then all of my commands won't work.
Oh.
I know not everyone's gonna get this reference, but it's kind of like WandaVision. That recast, though.
That recast? No.
Oh.
Cloudy Kate lives eternally as one of us. I mean, unless she sees fit otherwise, but yeah. Thank you,
It's
Cloudy
like,
Kate.
yeah, no.
Yeah, hate you guys.
I don't want to
How
live
dare you? I
forever.
don't want to live.
Immortalized in stone outside
care
of the Tavern of Dragon's End. Thank you, I appreciate it. The new overlay. We also have a crazy one for Kjol, the one on Thursday, which is like a frozen tundra. I'm very excited. Your party links don't work? Oh, my party link. What? What do you mean?
Yeah, those don't work either. Yeah,
They don't?
they're the name like Critfail Jake, for example. Like there's the link, and then the first part of Jake's name
Great.
is like stuck in the link.
It's connected.
Oh,
yeah.
You're gonna have to separate them.
Maybe.
Better.
Maybe.
Critfail Jake Luna.
Critfail Jake now, Baber.
It looked good when I wrote it. I used like enter to like go down a thing, but it looks like that shouldn't be.
It's not.
That'll be a quick fix. We'll have it working.
We're professionals here on the Long Shot RPG.
Nothing but professional.
I do like
you, Yami.
Datdirtytaco, Jared. That's nice.
Oh no.
Offbeat Outlaw Taco.
Oof. So, let's get right back into it. Brady and smell smoke. Oh, my window's open. It's fine. Everything's fine. Brady and or Thranduin. What's the move?
Want to follow this guy?
I think so, but we know there's at least 2 of them in there. So we just have to be careful about it.
Being in town, I had kind of was under the impression that I didn't specify it in the beginning, but that I'm not wearing my plate armor because I'm in a relatively safe place.
Okay.
So he's not,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
Okay.
So I'm going to channel my ring.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. It's too dangerous alone to go alone. Thank you, Panda, for the $50. Heck.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much for your donation. That goes a long way for us.
Wow.
You're
Thank
the
you.
best. You were the best of us. Oh. And I did unmod Nightbot.
Thank you.
Yay.
Cool.
Everybody can now
That
spam
guy.
in caps. No.
I'll do my best, Moose. I'll do my best to be perfect. I'll do my best. All right.
Thank the storm.
So my apologies, Thranduin. Yes, spam away. You want to use your ring?
Yeah, I'm going to use my ring, and I'm going to cast invisibility on the both of us.
Okay. Yeah. The two of you become invisible. You have a moment where you can see the indents of your footprints in the packed earth, and it's a little disconcerting for Brady, having not been invisible often, and she kind of touches the sides of the walls, and she kind of gets used to it. Kind of.
Brady's
Okay.
gonna start hopping back and forth as she holds on, like watching the
little tiny imprints
footsteps.
and little puffs of dust.
When we start following, you're going to want to not do that.
Oh, right. Gotcha. She starts doing it a lot slower and very carefully, so just in different spots to show, like, look, I can do it. I got this.
And then we'll follow behind invisibly.
Okay. So they go into the ramshackle house behind the kiosk. Unless you're following. Who are you following?
So I keep wanting to say
Sota.
Sovas, and it's not his. Sota. Yeah.
Sota. So he has gone inside.
Soda. I'm following Soda.
Sure. He has gone inside. Oh, thank you for the new subscriber, Ben. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Pine Cones. Goodness gracious. So you approach the building? Question mark?
Sure.
Okay. You cross across and it's
Carefully looking for anything that might be a trap.
okay.
Any-
You get past the kiosk and you can see the bag where he was pulling the blue metal chips out of has been taken. And you can smell the salted, half-rotten fish. And you kind of take a look at this ramshackle building, slightly leaning to one side, kind of up against the neighboring stone house. It's got multiple windows on the second floor, but no windows on the former. You do a little 360 you do a little lap around the house, carefully avoiding not bumping into any people. Although Brady is gonna have to make a dex check to see if she successfully navigates through the crowd whilst invisible.
Boom. Sorry.
What you find is that there is what you find is that there is a back door, and a small window next to this one. The back door does lead out into a larger alleyway. What'd you get, Brady?
You said for Dex?
Yes, a dex check,
Right?
just straight dexterity.
14.
14. Okay, yeah, you successfully not bumping. You were successful in not bumping into anyone.
We can't see each other, can we?
No, you cannot.
Ah, dang it. Okay, never mind.
So this door, you said goes down to another alley, or?
So the house on the front side opens up into the marketplace with the kiosk, and the back side, where a second door is and a smaller window, it opens into a larger alleyway that 3 people could walk abreast. In the alleyway, you see one kind of drunkard. He's got his back's on the floor. His butt and legs are up and up the side of a wall, and there's an empty bottle next to him, and he seems to be asleep, snoring loudly.
But no sign of.
No
Sota.
sign of Sota. Assumedly, he is in the building.
And how many? Is it just the one-story shack, or?
It is 2 stories. The second story
stories.
has windows, many windows, but only the one smaller window in the back.
How tall tall is it really, though? Like,
30 feet.
huh.
Again, it has, being of poor make, slanted onto the side of the adjacent building.
Is there any, looking through the window, is there anyone on the first floor?
Make a perception check. You kind of go up to the window and peer into it.
11.
An 11. Okay. You see the halfling and one more individual that is not Sota. They seem to be playing cards, gambling. Large individual, broad of back, 2 horns, maybe a dragonborn.
And what directions are they facing? Are there any other windows that are like with their backs?
So the dragonborn's back is to you, and you can roughly make out the top of the halfling's hair, as he kind of leans to one side with his cards.
And how big are the windows? Would one be able to?
The top windows are large, easily big enough for someone to sneak through. The smaller window would be a tight fit, but a decent stealth check and or acrobatics would be successful. Assuming you got it open.
If I casted using either a concentration or a ritual, sorry, I was thinking of the words, silence on that area, would it stay like
Any noise made within that bubble does not escape, or is even made in the first place, I believe.
so the bubble is a 20-foot radius sphere? Would that put the people inside the building in the bubble, or
You can
no?
avoid that happening by placing the bubble more into the alleyway and including the window and door, without them also being in it.
Can I do that to the point where it'll include the window and maybe just a little bit of area in front of it for like getting in?
Yes. So you begin your ritual, so you don't have to use a spell slot. And because you're invisible, it takes a few tries. But after about half an hour, you succeed in doing so. And Thranduin and Brady both have a welcome silence. It does also encompass the snoring drunk, who you can no longer hear.
Okay.
But he's outside, right?
Yes, in the alleyway.
Okay.
Also, very much.
Was he a loud snorer? Like, is this snoring suddenly being gone gonna be noticeable?
Take a look.
So is Thranduin already up and in, or?
Not yet. No.
Yeah, so he can't see me. Gosh dang it. I wish Thranduin could see me. Brady, he's in the window technically, right? He's like up in that area, right? So
Yeah.
Brady really can't,
I mean, you can see right through him.
but she can't technically walk through him, right? So
No.
he would have to go first before she could. Or are they
Depends on
big
who
enough
wants to go
that-
first. I love that you guys are just bullying Nightbot.
Come at me, Nightbot.
What's
I'm
rude,
ripped.
okay?
You scrub lord.
You scrub.
I mean, I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay.
Make a sleight of hand to open the window.
With advantage, because silence?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. I'll take that.
And crit fail.
No.
His namesake.
Do not
18.
live up to your names.
18.
So the first one was a 4, so thank you for that advantage.
You
18.
manage to
Break
wedge
the glass.
whether it's a knife.
Yeah, just like, let me just...
But it's silent. Just you manage to slip the lock, and you raise the bottom half of the window up, watching the two of them all the while. The large back of the Dragonborn does block the halfling's view of you and the window.
So I guess I'll help Brady in. And
Okay.
then we can both make our
All
way
right, make that acrobatics check. Brady at advantage because of the help action from Thranduin.
Oh, that's very good for the advantage. Acrobatics? Acrobatics, right?
Acrobatics, yes.
16. It was originally rolled a 3, so
Okay, so you
this is working out well.
deftly manage to get yourself in, and you kind of slide to the side of the door, still within the bubble of silence, but just barely.
So is there like a balcony up there, or?
You
What are
are
we
still on the
standing
first
on?
floor.
Oh, okay. And there's only 2 we can see, or can we
Correct.
see all 3
So
now?
you can see on the other side, by the front door, you have come in through the back door window, a set of stairs going up, and some light, candlelight, coming from up there. Congrats on the job, Cloudy Kate.
Ooh, congrats.
And we miss you.
Heck yeah.
Congratulations.
I thought you said coagulations for a second. I was like, huh?
Congratulations.
So if we're in, then I guess we'll...
Did you roll to get in as well?
Oh, that was a sleight of hand roll.
Yeah.
No, I did
So
not.
you managed to open the window easily. Now you also will make
Oh.
an acrobatics.
That is a nat 20.
Okay, yeah, you do
So-
it with some flair. How would you like to do that?
Just as soundlessly as possible, despite there being silence. I would say
If
I
there
like
were sound, there would not be.
do a flip, but like
You managed to
As he
definitely
cartwheels through the window.
fully keep
Like a
your balance.
creature
You're on both
stirring.
feet.
I summon all of my elven grace that I'm just barely hanging on to, being a half elf.
Please say
and-
that you just, in the bubble of silence, you just smash through the wall, but no
Right,
one
I just like
like no one can hear it, but there's
Oh,
now
drop
just
the
this
dice.
giant gap
We're already
in the
starting.
side of the building.
Like a mouse.
I told myself this season I wouldn't drop dice, but it is not a long shot D&D episode without Feffers dropping
true.
at least one
That's true.
dice.
is the way.
So,
I'm more offended that you still rolled those dice after you dropped them.
Yeah, right? How dare you?
anyway, and other
So
various
since-
flustered noises.
How far are the stairs?
The stairs are 25 feet past the two of them.
So, if I'm invisible, does that mean if I were to use
I have a dice tray.
Misty Step,
Uh-huh.
would the mist and the fog also be invisible? Silvery mist, it says, but would that be invisible because technically...
I'm gonna say yes, because you are the mist. You dissipate and condensate back together. Because that's the mist you become the mist, and the mist then becomes you, and that mist would be invisible because it is you.
Okay.
Yes. So you're going. Now would be the time to kind of like make a plan since we're in the
Like him...
Well, you can't hear each other.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just things outside it couldn't be heard.
Maybe
from
you
the
should have
inside.
thought of that earlier.
She's...
Look, I'm just gonna say Thranduin doesn't really know how her magic works, so he's just like, oh, this is a.
I don't know. She plays music, and then it's just
There's
magic.
music, and she's got this dwarf that's also a liar. I don't know what's happening.
Liar, liar.
I
I
can't
don't know.
take Thranduin with me in the Misty Step. I can't, like... That's not possible.
No, you cannot.
You
Dang it,
carry him
okay.
on your back.
he would thud
Can
to the
I?
he
No,
would thud to
no.
the floor.
Not at all.
I'm like, Brady doesn't really have the strength, but maybe.
Although, I
I've got
would
a winning
absolutely
attitude.
Love to
And
see
let
you
that
try.
count for something, please.
Thranduin, hop on my back.
Oh yeah, okay.
Just grabs it.
But all
Just
quietly,
one
just
Come
step
on.
immediately collapses.
in a puff of mist.
And we lost Brady today, so that's the end of that story.
So what do you
Um,
do?
Okay. So, can she touch Thranduin, or is it
Yes,
like a
yeah.
go through?
No,
Okay.
it's just invisibility.
She's gonna take Thranduin's arm and just kind of like motion like walking.
Okay.
And as they go to do that, can she cast Minor Illusion to create loud shouting
So
outside, like
casting
a fight?
outside of a ritual, because you're a bard, would include music.
But we're in silence.
Right. And if there's no music, there's no casting. Zone of Silence is often used to negate the ability to cast. So if there's an enemy spellcaster, boop, silence. They can't do magic. Unless, as long as it has a verbal component, and in your case, that requires literal music.
Okay. Fair enough.
Can she just pop her head out of it and just be, ah! And then just like
Yeah.
pop right back in?
And they're like,
Oh man.
again, this is D&D. She can, but she has to suffer the consequences.
That's true.
I think just start stealthing,
All right, roll stealth. The both of you, I assume.
since he can actually stealth.
Okay. Because he can stealth.
Just to recap for myself, their objective is to get upstairs, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to know.
That's where Sota is, assumedly.
Okay.
21.
21, you definitely step out of the zone of silence, and you're immediately hit with a familiar voice. And you can't place exactly where it is. And as you pass by, you look over your shoulder at the Dragonborn, and it's Johnny. And he is being thrashed in a game of cards, losing all his money. Thranduin, make that roll.
Oh, it feels good to not have disadvantage.
That's
21.
why you didn't have your armor on. Nice. 21? 21?
Yep.
You also note the voice as you guys get to the stairs.
So they're now outside of the bubble and they're on the stairs?
They are at the bottom of the stairs. They have
Okay.
passed by the halfling and Johnny.
Gotcha.
Just gonna take a quick peek to make sure there are no like traps on the stairs or up the stairs or.
Smart man. Make that perception check.
Seventeen perception for that.
17, yeah. There are no traps. As the two of you slowly make your way up the stairs, you see Sota at a writing desk, writing furtively. There is a hawk in a cage next to him, who kind of perks up a little bit, but doesn't notice anything particular. The hawk. Sota, he is side of you, so his right is facing the stairs. The bed behind him, there is a chest at the foot of the bed.
What is he doing?
He's writing furtively.
All right. I'll try to take a look and see if I can read what he's.
It seems to be a log of people he will be sending back to the mainland of the Endeavor after they go through the Awakening. We're going to cut real quick over to Otto, Naked Guy, and Terra as you guys slowly make your way into town.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that, like, as nice as it is to show Terra this, like, things are pressing, and like, so showing Terra, it's like, so this is what we call a bar. This is where very upset people go to try to be happy.
Oh.
But while we're doing that, and, like, you know, obviously before we do anything else, I get Naked Guy a cheeseburger.
There's a kiosk selling meat pies, the equivalent.
Of course there is. I knew, and he definitely needed something. So after we do that, and I've shown her kind of the beginning of that,
Naked Guy
I'm gonna
shares
get
his
on my
meat pie
sending
with Terra.
stone.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Are we gonna
telepathic
be like-
connection, don't worry.
Huh?
No, you're good.
I'm gonna be like, hey, Brady, we got into town a lot earlier than I thought that we were going to do. Where are you guys at right now?
Brady, your sending stone puts that message in your head, and you kind of freeze up for a second, and you think that maybe responding would be unwise right now, as Sota would be able to hear it.
Brady? Brady?
So if she
Oh,
gave
you're
any
going to call me for over 6
communication-
months, and every day telling me bedtime stories and giving me well wishes and the intricate details of your life while I'm away, to the point where I had to put this somewhere very unseemly so I didn't have to listen to
block
it
user.
anymore.
No.
Well, yeah,
And now
you
you're not
can-
going to talk to me? Brady! Like, and this is probably all just going
So this
right
kind of thing continues as Terra and Naked Guy enjoy meat pies, and he starts pointing at various buildings that he likes the most because of the stone that it came from and stuff like that. He also
That
starts
one's
talking.
Limewood.
Whoa.
Whoever wants to go first here.
Well, I guess I'm still, like, on the phone. Just,
Yeah,
Brady,
so you
come on.
kind
Do
of
we
start
not have
pacing.
a reception? I'm gonna try to get on one of the buildings.
All right, so
To
you go
just,
looking
like-
for perception. Perception.
Perception?
Perception.
Hold on, let me look for some perception real quick.
All right, Brady, Thranduin.
I got 15 on perception there. I
You
should definitely be able to
see
talk
a
to
very
her.
tall building, and it should make sense that she should be able to hear you.
Well, is there anything in there that would tip Brady off that this is definitely her guy, or?
She is
Yeah.
already sure that that she's got the right man.
Okay, is she sure? As in, like, she's sure there are no traps here, or?
Oh, she's sure that
You're-
she's got the right guy. That this is the one who has been in contact with her, making her do stuff.
Okay, so we here to rough him up a little bit, or like what? Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
We got. All right.
I'm just trying to think because there's a bird in the room. I don't want the bird to start squawking and notify
Well.
the people downstairs. Was my thought.
Well, it's Johnny who knows us.
Now I don't trust Johnny.
A halfling,
A
And this guy.
puntable halfling.
a puntable halfling, and we are on the second floor.
Oh.
Yeet. If we have to. Anyway.
Oh
So-
my gosh.
What's the
Learn from the
D&D
best.
equivalent of yeet? Chat, please tell us.
From behind,
Mhm.
I'm gonna cast the. I'm gonna use prestidigitation again
Okay.
and make that image, but it's just gonna cover his entire book
Oh, he
in just bright glowing purple rune of whatever.
It just
It looks
blossoms, and he goes, "Hey!" And he stands up, his chair falling backwards, and he's gonna go, "What is going on? What is this?"
Hi there.
He's gonna whip
And
around and pull out
She's
a.
gonna put a knife to his throat, like,
Okay.
immediately.
So he's
With
gonna turn
not
around
a
and
word.
reach. He's gonna turn around and dang it, Cloudy. and go to. He gets a falchion halfway out of his scabbard. Before he feels the prick, and you see his eyes like widen and quickly dart around, and then squint. He goes, right. So.
Sit down. Slowly.
It's you.
She's gonna dig it in a little bit more. Sit down.
I was wondering if we would come to this. And he kind of sits down. He goes, "Rest assured, you are in no position to bargain." He's still looking
And-
around. He's darting glances. You hear the halfling, "Hey, is everything okay up there?"
Tell them you're fine. You saw a spider.
Roll intimidation.
Oh, this is happening.
I'm
I'm
gonna
still
be
yelling
standing-
in her sending ear.
I'm gonna stand behind her and just summon my.
Are you still invisible?
I cast a spell. We're both visible.
Oh, thank you. Cool.
But I'm gonna summon my pack weapon,
Yes.
and it's just gonna be this big,
Okay,
intimidating
roll that advantage.
purple fire just behind her, like mean mugging him from behind.
Roll at advantage, Brady.
23.
Oh yeah, he kind of like fully understands the situation, and he seemingly doesn't have an immediate solve to the problem, so he's just gonna be like, "Oh, it's nothing to be concerned of. I saw a spider." To which Johnny goes, "Yeah, them spiders on this island, I tell you what, they are not to be reckoned with."
Oh, Johnny.
And you hear the halfling, "Shut up!"
I want to. You said he was reaching for a weapon earlier.
Yeah, he had a falchion that he had like half pulled out.
Keeping, if possible, I would like to keep the knife there and then grab that weapon and
Okay.
either hand it back or set it aside or
Yeah,
something.
you set it aside. You place it on the bed. And he goes, "And what can I do for you, fine individuals, this day?"
You're gonna tell me why the hell you people can't leave me alone?
Leave you alone? Why would we leave one of our disciples to their own musings?
Not a disciple.
Flawed and broken as she may be.
Not a disciple.
You just don't remember.
No, I remember being taken from
And
my
if you
home.
ever want to see... If you ever want to have those treasured memories back, you'll do what I say, like a good little... And he looks around. What I mean to say is... What now?
If you want to live another day, you'll give us straight answers and stop speaking in riddles.
Riddles is it? And he starts whispering some strange, arcane...
I just grab his throat, just cut off his words.
But as he does, Brady, the spell doesn't take effect, but a full-on panic, a full-on anxiety attack begins crawling out of the back of your mind, and then abates quickly as he is choked.
She probably at that point definitely would have stepped away too,
Okay.
and like almost like not knowing where to go, where to run, or
The hawk begins rattling
Is
the
Brady
cage.
like the Winter Soldier?
What? What?
Reach in and grab the bird and just starts petting it.
Roll animal handling. Thranduin, what you doing? He is turning blue.
I'm gonna
Abadai.
loosen just a smidge,
Ow! Okay.
so we can get a little airflow. Tell us what you know.
17.
Let's make a deal. You're fond of those, right, tiefling? Sorry, drow?
We are not the same.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay?
Let's
You
move
keep
forward.
getting us
You
mixed
really
I
up,
know,
and
shut
don't
up, let's move
understand.
forward!
You need to apologize. Okay?
Hey, I'm so sorry. Alright, let's move forward.
I didn't actually hear what you said other than tiefling, so what did you say before that?
He said you like to make deals, don't you, drow?
I'm not in the business of deals anymore.
Not from what I've heard. Okay,
Just
let me live.
just wait and just
Yeah, there's like a breath of a moment where he tries to rally and then just kind of crumples under the eye contact and goes, in the chest you will find a few interesting pearls.
Brady is gonna go, but check. Can she check to see if it's rigged? They've come across a lot
You
of
may attempt to
rigged
check.
boxes. What am I doing that with? Perception? or-
Perception, yes.
22.
22. You can tell that it is merely locked. You fish the key out of his pocket. You open it, and bound within leather, you find a pearl. One of them specifically just resonates with you, and you pick it up, and it begins glowing softly. Are we done here?
No, explain
I don't know,
what this
Brady.
is.
Break
What
it.
is this?
Break it. Make an insight check, the both of you.
That's not good.
I got 16.
Okay, Brittany is
good.
able
I
to
got 3.
ascertain that he is lying.
He is lying?
Yes. If you broke it, you might never get those memories.
Okay, you're on strike too. You better start telling the truth.
Attune to it, and it will begin the process. So that'll take some time. With your trophy in hand, you have what you have come for.
Thranduin, do you have
what do you wanna
anything
do
to?
Is everything all right up there?
Tell them you're fine.
Fine.
Do you have it? Do you have any way to make him forget or?
I
Wow.
don't have a way to make him forget.
What a
but I got way to
hypocrite. No, I'm
make
just kidding.
I can make sure I'll never talk.
All right, do it.
With hand still clasped firmly on the throat,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna take my packed weapon, which is still drawn, and just slice the dice on the neck.
Okay. You cut his throat open and he begins pouring blood over your hand. And his eyes bulge. And he tries to like gurgle something out, but he can't talk.
And I'll just look him in the eye.
You watch the light go out. Windows to the soul closing.
Okay, and then hang on.
Is Thranny turning evil? What's happening?
I know, right?
Was Thranny ever good?
I don't know.
I also have a question. Is he a humanoid?
Yes, he is a human, in fact.
I'll wait till Jake says what he wants to say, and then I have a thing. But I want to make
So
sure I don't.
I will then curse his soul.
Jesus.
Okay, go on.
Temporarily binding it to my service until the end of my next long rest.
Okay. All right.
So we may yet make more use of him.
Okay.
And can I also grab his shadow?
Not yet. We'll get to that in just a second.
We're just like
He's just
cloak
like
and dagger shenanigans over here.
as soon as he's cursed, though, he just looks at you as a ghost. He's like, "Oh, you're just the worst."
Hey.
Whoa! Vale, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Heck. Hey,
Thank
Taylor,
you.
you're officially one of the pine cones.
you.
Hey, Dorky. Look at all these amazing people. Ah, thank you, Vale. Heck.
You're awesome.
As you guys prepare to leave, you hear the pearl turns a blindingly white light, and memories begin flooding into you, and you unlock your College of Whispers subclass. And we'll unpack that in a minute. But needless to say, you look over at her, Thranduin, and her eyes are like rolling the back of the head. You have to like catch her a little bit to steady her. She's not like falling over, but she is somewhat incapacitated. At that moment, the city bells begin ringing in alarm.
What could that be? Oh no.
Immediately, you hear a scuffle downstairs, and then the clink of coins. As you guys descend, Brady beginning to come back to her senses enough to descend the stairs. You see a very unconscious halfling, and and Johnny kind of pocketing all the money he's been losing, and kind of looking up and going, "Oh, well, what are y'all doing here?"
Before we go downstairs, I
Yeah.
want
Okay.
to do something.
Mhm.
I want to cast Prestidigitation to clean my bloodied garments.
You flourish, and it is gone.
And did I get his shadow?
You may now
Yeah.
do that, yes.
I would like to have his shadow.
The shadow of his corpse as he lay dying, soul gone. You take the shadow and you wrap it upon yourself. And you now have, are you trying to, what does that do again? I have it.
I
pulled
can
up.
hold on to it, right?
Yeah,
I don't have to use
you essentially pocket his shadow, hiding it within
Yeah.
yours.
it. Yeah, I'm gonna pocket that.
I don't
Okay.
know what any of this means.
And
but I'm
also, the
excited.
tolerance of Brady right now is amazing because this entire time I've still been on that sending stone, just like singing "Tiny bubbles in my wine makes me happy."
That
Makes
was
Just
actually,
occasionally
what
she's
brought her
So-
back from the whole
Yeah.
thing. It was just like
Oh man.
Otto's voice brought her
It's
back
just
into the
Otto.
present.
Just...
That said, she still retains 31 psychic damage from the experience. Not from Otto. Though.
From Otto! Oh my gosh!
Just every minute, it's just a damage.
Who knew the
Just a
sending
s-
stones could be so powerful?
Oh, I just melt someone's brain by singing on a sing.
Johnny notices for the first time the bells and he goes, "What in tarnation?" And he just barrels out the front door into the courtyard. Are you guys following?
I think so.
Okay,
I
you
think
guys-
maybe go through the back
Definitely
door.
getting away from here.
Yeah.
Not right into the corridor.
Sure thing. Drunk guy's still passed out as you guys
Perfect.
kind of do a little roundabout, and as you come back out into the main square by the tavern, you run into Naked Guy and a fawn, of which you have only heard of before. And Naked Guy goes, "Oh!
Is it normally this
And
loud here? Where are all the bells?
And he takes like a rock and like throws it at Otto, who's up on a roof.
Ow!
You look down and you can
What?
see Brady
Oh,
and
there you
Thranduin.
are. This thing's broken, by the way, and I'm going to toss it.
From your vantage point, you can see the black sails slowly blockading the port.
Yeah, remember those ships I told you about? They're here.
Wow, that was fast.
That
There's
actually is
someone.
kind of fast.
The party reconvenes. There is a fawn, of which Naked Guy is like protectively hovering, not hovering over, but kind of keeping in his periphery.
Guys, that's Tara. Tara, guys, Brady, Thranny.
Hi, Brady, Thranny. Nice to meet you.
And you guys already know, but let me reintroduce. It's Denki.
Denki?
Yeah. Say hi, Denki.
Hello.
There we go. Yeah.
I've never heard you sound like that before.
He growls
Did you,
happy.
you learned how to talk? That's great.
Talk, yes.
Yeah. He actually picked out his name too, because when we first started teaching him it, the first thing I wanted to teach him was Naked Guy, and he just kept going, Denki Guy, and so it's Denki now.
So many things suddenly make sense.
And he goes up to you and goes,
Thranduin.
like,
Thranny.
yes, like I did.
Thranny.
No.
Thranny. No, it's
First
Thranny.
one.
It's Thranny.
And goes over to Brady and goes,
Bird.
Bird.
No.
I'm okay with
no,
that one.
You sing. Bird.
Okay. She's just like, yeah, sure. It's nice to officially meet you, Denki.
Loud.
Great. So now that we're all acquainted, how about we stop the death that's approaching? Yeah.
you guys make your way down to
Brady's
the
like
port.
in rough shape, like, oh, okay then.
You make your way down to the port, where a crowd has begun forming. What was that, Tara?
I was just like, there's so many people.
Yeah, you feel
Oh,
a
yeah.
little claustrophobic. You're jostled, and there's a cacophony of sounds, the march of soldiers. You see cannons kind of commands going out, loading them.
You see cannons beatboxing.
It's not a horrible idea. Anyway, the fleet. You can see roughly 20 of them. Kind of all begin locking along themselves. Trebuchets loaded and the like. From here you can see the church and Tariff, the High Monarch, kind of watching from a balcony on the second floor, squinting and ever scowling. His three lackeys kind of in the shadows behind him. The church thugs, as it was, kind of not really sure what to do, and so they're kind of grouping together by the church. The council comes out of the town hall. A portly halfling, two dwarves, and a very tall human with a cane. This is not the full council, but this is who was currently in the town hall. The ambassadors are nowhere to be seen. And they... Thank you. Hail hydrate. One longboat is lowered. Upon it stands a dwarf. And his sailors and soldiers slowly row him into port. He steps, the guards all kind of back away. The tall human with the cane holding his hand up kind of takes his hitched step towards the individual. Before you, stepping onto the port, is the largest dwarf you've ever seen. At his back is a great hammer, plate mail adorned in ebony, plated beard, helm firmly strapped to his skull. You can barely see his beady little eyes. And in a booming, overloud voice, "My name is Droguar. I have been hired by House Toil to take this island back into order. This land belongs to House Toil, and we will see it righted."
What claim does House Toil have on these lands?
That of Province Drow. He knows about you. He looks about. You come to this land with your fake church and your petty gunpowder. We did not give sanction for any one of those ambassadors to step foot on our soil. The
What?
man with the hitch and the cane, his name is Somber. In a calm voice, "We did not know that you were going to be coming, Lord Droguar. And we welcome you in this time. If you would like to speak with the Council of Dragon's End, you are welcome to. As such, we will not permit you to make such aggressive claims upon our people, but we are more than willing to talk. Assuming you return the ambassadors." Droguar kind of sizes him up with a slightly Conor McGregor eye. Very wild. And goes, "I've a mind to break you into tiny little pieces, mate. And I've a mind to burn this town to the ground." And as he turns with a handkerchief in hand, he freezes. A horn blaring on his ship. "I did not give leave to break that," as the ships begin parting. And through the blockade comes a new ship, smaller, faster, with a blue sail, with a lightning bolt. And he goes, "Oh, for the love of all that is holy and defaced! How did..." And he begins just cussing in Dwarvish.
No, DMCA, get that off.
Fine, it's covered by the rest of the audio.
And at its prow stands a dragonborn. As it slowly comes into port, sailors come and put a ramp down, and down steps Fisbin.
So there's just a mist of like fog as it lowers down, because yes, he did cast create fog in that 20-foot radius in order to do so. He then also casted thaumaturgy, so that his eyes are bright white blue and shining brilliantly. And as he
Theros-
walks forward, wait, Theros is with him, yes.
Theros is with him, but kind of, back a ways. He's not about to get into potentially a scuffle, but he is hoping that your position as Inquisitor would protect him.
Can I just secretly, like, while this is happening and he's trying to do this showboating, just like, can I secretly just like cast darkness over that entire show?
You are too far away.
Am I? I was with them.
Finish your showboating, George.
What, how
Your
am I
moment
no,
goes.
no, wait, where
your
am I?
moment goes unspoilt by the DM.
No. Wait, where am I?
Pillow.
You're not
no.
gonna steamroll me on this. I want to make sure that I ruin something.
Go on,
He
George.
can cast darkness in a moment. Let's put it that way. The last thing he's doing is also again casting thaumaturgy to create his voice to be 3 times louder than normal.
Okay, and with a booming, grating
With a
sound.
booming, wonderful voice just to the entire crowd. The House of Ramsey is here! May the truth of the Stormfather deafen the ears of your enemies in roaring thunder, blind their sight with righteous lightning, and drown their lies in the everlasting storm! Blessed be the Stormfather, and hail hydrates!
Alright, that's enough of that.
Theros goes, Hail Hydrates! He's got
More
a flask.
thaumaturgy for booming thunder in the
Yeah,
background.
the party sees Theros and goes, oh.
Oh, especially if Theros is there, I want to cast fucking darkness.
You
Sorry.
begin making your way through the crowd.
Where? Okay, where's all the party at this point?
The party is, bunched up on the hill, looking down into the port.
Okay.
The sand crunches.
I thought
as-
we were in that area. Sorry.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't realize
Like
I was not
when you
close
said that
enough
we
to
were making our way
question
through a
Droguar's
town, like
claim.
I thought we made our way to the front of the thing and we were witnessing this like right in
Yeah.
front of us.
You're amongst the. I would say you're amongst them. You can definitely make your way to that. By now, I would say it's fair that you would make your way close enough to do whatever it is you're trying to do. As
Well,
Droguar.
close enough, but inconspicuous enough. That's why it's like we were a part of the crowd. I thought I could get away with something while I was in the middle of it.
I got you. I will. Yeah, that's fine. Droguar begins pivoting towards him. He goes, "Do you think that a single Inquisitor?" And go ahead, Otto. What are you trying to do?
I'm just gonna like just really like skillfully if I can, just really quickly, just like because I'm like, all right, there's already 2 showboats. I only have time for 1, and I'm just gonna like I just want to cast darkness on top of everything that that the Dragonborn's doing, and then while that's going on, it's like I just like so I cast darkness.
Okay, you cast darkness, and it
And so that's-
settles over.
I'm assuming that will stop his voice from.
It's just
Okay.
darkness. It's not silence.
I mean, like it might like catch him. by surprise.
Yeah, I'm sure that you're in the middle of it, like, hell, Hydra, what's going on?
Okay.
They jumped off the light.
I was referring to the
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what's his name? Talking.
Droguar.
Droguar?
Yeah, it cuts him off, and he turns expecting a fight, and he pulls off his hammer. But he's just like squinting in the dark.
Yeah,
Very
well, all this is
confused.
happening. I'm just signing with Danky and being like, doesn't that like? I don't think that's actually a dwarf. I think it's just a really short, fat guy
From the darkness.
with a Napoleon complex. Like, just,
That's 100% accurate.
From the darkness, you hear
just
chuckling.
Danky and yeah, you're like, where's my cape? Oh, ow! I stubbed my toe.
You hear Droguar take a moment because he is.
Probably naked guy and I are just snickering with each other like Patrick and SpongeBob. Just
He in the darkness. He strides out from it. Kind of looks about the crowd, sees the town hall, and just starts stomp shouldering his way towards it.
Sounds like someone didn't like your presentation, Droguar. And with another action, just
Immediately.
the magic is dispelled around him.
Okay, yeah, it disappears, and everyone's like, "Whoa!"
I'm fine with it. I just wanted to shut the presentation down if possible.
Presentation.
Don't worry, I have all of that. I have that in caps. Presentation, like it's necessary.
He's got an entire D&D PowerPoint about it.
Fisbin and Thranduin, you note that there will not, in fact, be all-out war at this moment. The High Monarch Tariff is absolutely livid. He's white-knuckling the railing that he stands on and turns, his cape billowing, as he goes back in, and he calls all of his men into the church, and all the doors are shut. With a fully armed guard, the council members walk into the town hall and close the doors. Fisbin, you look and you spot 3 things you've never seen before: a fawn, a tiefling, and a drow.
And a really big, not so naked
Really big dude. and a blonde half elf as well.
The town's always this exciting, goodness.
Not usually.
They're not too far away? Question mark.
No, at this point they have gotten, I believe, within 30 feet.
At least for me to do that spell.
Waddle his way over.
He waddles.
Within 60 feet.
He's very. You will notice that he does hunch a lot. He obviously an older individual, but if he were to stand upright, he would be like 6'9". He's a dragonborn.
Oh
so
wow,
he's,
yeah.
he's larger.
Yeah.
And his armor is a weird amalgamation of like mostly what appears to be glass, but is like also got like stone kind of placed in places. Just like weirdly meshed together in ways that you wouldn't normally expect. But it's definitely a plate mail type of armor that he has kind of combined together. The only real metal that you will see on him is like a flail at his side. That he doesn't seem like it has a lot of use. It's really more for presentation.
Ornate, if you will.
So, fair enough. Yeah, he'll waddle on over. So, what do you think of the presentation? How did I do?
Oh,
Impressive.
I am going to ask you to roll performance on how the crowd is going to react on you.
Is that at a disadvantage for my darkness?
It is going to
Well,
be
he
a
did
higher
dispel
roll.
it.
It does affect the roll, and he did dispel it.
16 performance.
Okay. The crowd is in relative awe, and they do see you correctly as an individual that has stopped Droguar's potential rampage.
Did Theros follow him?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
that's
about
what
to
I was
say.
gonna ask.
Theros is nowhere to be seen.
Oh, good. Because that would get real awkward.
Oh, actually, that's crap. Theros steps up, or appears from behind Fisbin, and goes, "Fisbin, might I introduce..." Oh, you're new. He looks at the fawn.
and I duck behind
The illustrious individuals who I may have hinted at. The profoundly frustrating Otto. And he gives you a warm
Hey,
smile.
Butterball, and I'm
He
just gonna
gives-
lean over to Tara. It's like it's an inside joke.
He gives you a- he gives
it's a
you
really
a-
funny trick that we played on him, though. He doesn't. He can't get over it.
He gives
That's
you a.
Otto?
He gives you. Indeed.
You didn't explain why does he look like a demon?
I believe he will be able to tell you that himself.
I
Moving
don't
right
know.
along.
Why do you look
this
like a toilet bowl cleaner? Give me a break.
This bundle of joy is Brady. Brady, you look tired. Are you well?
It's been a long day.
And of course, Thranduin. And he gives you a medium bow.
I'll return it with a nod.
I present to you lot my message in a bottle. Fisbin. I was hoping for a bit more than what I got, but when I discovered that House Toil was making this move, I worked with all haste to save your people. And he
You didn't think to give us a
this
heads
pose.
up?
While he's doing this, can I be talking to naked guy in my sign real quick? It's like, why are you not smashing right now? Like, because
Too many
we
people.
know.
Too many people.
Fair.
And he's protecting me. I hid behind him.
Because I just want to see if it's like, while he's doing all this boasting, Danky just like grabs a leg and chucks him out to water.
He is kind of
Brady's gonna
puffed up.
grab Theros' hand and like do like a little handshake and be like, "Good to see you again, though."
Oh, excellent, right. You always were perky. And this is them. Gentlemen, sorry, ladies, this is Fisbin. Fisbin, the lunatics.
Oh, look at Terra. This is nice to meet you.
Hi, you're not as loud anymore. Let's keep it at this volume.
Oh,
The crowd is dispersing.
I want to learn
sorry, I
that
didn't-
trick.
Your show was a bit much.
Yeah, it's a little, just, yeah. These
sometimes
regular
the
folk
masses
might have liked
need a
it.
little bit of entertainment to try and rile their spirits.
Hey, any performer is a friend of mine. I could learn a thing or two from that.
I thought it was great.
I loved it.
That was met with
Charisma
so much
cast was
grumble.
Yes.
I'm sure you could learn a thing or two from me, half-elf.
We'll see.
Just throwing shade on Brady over there, alright.
Oh, I wasn't sure
I mean,
if it was
there's
me
two
or
half-elves.
her because we're both
Yeah.
half-elves, so...
Theros, you didn't give very good descriptions about these people.
I wouldn't want to ruin the surprise on your face.
You're asking me to work.
I am asking
Know how I feel
you.
about the elves.
They're not from the northern realms. They don't belong to any of the family trees. These are endeavor folk. They are not the same. You should be wiser than that.
We will see.
Right? You guys don't wear masks.
Why would we do that?
See? They're completely different people. He looks over and goes, the elves in the northern continent, they're, extreme, to say the least.
They're not to be trusted. They're not even here.
Precisely.
So are you guys gonna be the ones stopping all of these other ships from the island?
Theros raises an eyebrow at Fisbin.
I suppose I should do something about it.
He's downplaying. This here is an inquisitor of House Ramsay, who is beholden to House Thorn, the most powerful realm in the north. And
I didn't think I
as
had to explain that. I thought they would know that by
They
now.
don't know anything.
I don't.
You are
All we
lovely.
know
You
is
are
that
forgiven,
in the
Tara.
north has some great alcohol. Which Theros, no,
And he goes, "Yes, I was ready."
yeah.
He pulls out a decanter, not a decanter, sorry, a flask, which is half drank, by the way.
That's fine.
If Droguar was to move against Fisbin here, it would essentially be an act of war against
Oh.
House Thorn on behalf of House Toil. So I have, in fact, saved your life. and nigga guy goes,
Yeah. Such a big savior, isn't he? Danky, just he just, ooh, dude. And so, can we just
Thrown very far.
Danky just start being like, ooh, he's such a big savior. Ooh, he saved us.
looks over
I'll
at
look at
Terra.
I mean, aren't you? I heard you were the one that started the forest fire.
Yeah.
Theros goes, that was a miscommunication between myself and where is Dayton?
I think that was more of a miscalculation on your part.
Something tells me I have some stories to listen to.
Speaking of, actually, go ahead. Sorry.
There's a
That was
lot
it.
to catch up on, I suppose.
I suppose we can. Is there somewhere we can eat? It looks like your drow, was it? Your drow friend has brought dinner with us. Pointing at the fluff.
The flump. Oh no,
dare
we
you.
don't
He
eat
has
those.
feelings.
We don't eat those here.
Mini squids are
Brigitte
delicious.
slowly
I
stands
know,
in front,
and
like,
I
no.
enjoy them thoroughly. But this one is more of a pet. The flump turns like a white blue in fear.
He does know that it
No.
is intelligent, yes?
As he's setting it.
Extremely.
Let's go eat. You guys step into a tavern, not the Dragon's Inn tavern, a different tavern. And you kind of get a table and sit down. The food is brought to you. Fisbin declines the metal utensils, and instead pulls out some of his own, either chopsticks or what have you. And as you guys kind of get to know each other a little bit, at one point, Bell the Liar, the magical lyre that is the dwarf that was polymorphed into an instrument on after betraying Gent, speaks up. And for all to hear, greets Fisbin. Oh, I must say, after the time, I begin to just fold into myself and not notice my surroundings, but I do believe I have the pleasure to see a modern Inquisitor of the Stormfather. Down here, lad.
Who's talking?
Still on her
Bell?
leg. She's like, oh man.
Wait,
and she starts untying it and slowly brings it up.
Out comes a lyre, and it speaks. My house Ramsey to yours. Sorry, my house Ramsey to yours. Yours. He then prattles off some scripture that you recognize intimately.
Someone explain to me why an instrument is talking my scriptures.
You've gone mad.
Everything
He-
is upside down. No.
He,
It's all the beans that you ate.
he begins recounting the tale.
It's 'cause you're racist.
He begins recounting the tale of how the dwarves of House Ramsey during the genocide of Lord Barst reached out to Gent, and this is when you learn of Gent, and how in exchange for worshiping them, he took them to this island. But I, as he wraps up his story, secretly continued teaching the prophecies and the scriptures of the Stormfather, and needless to say, Gent found out about it and turned me into a liar, which I thought was funny for the first couple of 100 years.
That explains where you all went then.
Oh, I guess you never did know. It all happened so quickly.
No, nothing was ever written. The dwarves just disappeared.
He just booped all of us over here.
Oh.
Tara, you are brought stew, cooked goose, and other savory substances, as well as a salad, which you find particularly pleasing. I assume, not to
Yes.
dictate.
The salad definitely more so than the meat.
Everyone's drinking their water, yes?
Yes. Oh.
Pulls out the decanter of endless water that he has and starts filling all of the cups.
And hydrate.
Drink your water.
Oh. Whoa.
Why are you woeing? We've had a decanter that does the same exact thing.
I mean, she doesn't know.
I'm saying this in game to
don't.
Brady.
I think
No,
Tara said
I'm
whoa.
I didn't say whoa.
I
Oh,
said
sorry.
whoa.
Wow,
Never
wow.
mind.
All right,
like, what?
all
I
right,
looked there for a
Pillowsuit.
second and I just heard a whoa, but it was so soft that I thought it was Brady.
Amazing. So I
Yeah, Brady
think
is on the side, just like really tired, sipping a little bit of her.
If it was Tara, then
glass.
I'll be like, it's like
Brandon's gonna
it's like,
lean over to
we had
Brady.
one of those, but it had alcohol in it. It was a lot better.
Oh, the water one sounds much more useful.
Yeah,
fermented
it's not as much fun.
juice. What? This will be our last scene for the night. So whatever dialogue you guys would like to discuss, we can discuss now, and then we will close. And don't leave, because we will be raiding one of our allies.
Sort of information are you guys wanting to give this character? All of it? Some of it? Like, what's the plan here?
That's a good question for Thranduin specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, what was it?
The information in general. What are you telling this character that, like, because he knows that you guys like killed the dragon and you're like important and stuff. 'Cause Theros was like, this is the people you got to talk to, but he doesn't know exactly what he's doing while he's there. Like, he just knows he's got to handle this whole like army thing and make sure no one like goes to war. But you guys, like, what do you guys want to tell him about you and your escapades that he needs to know?
I mean, I don't know how openly we want to talk about Gent right off the bat. Just because Bell the Liar just told him he wiped out the entire
Yeah.
religion that he is a part of.
Well, he wiped out the dwarves, yeah.
Right, the dwarves who, yeah.
If you guys ask about that, that was in the history of his of where he is. The dwarves, yeah, they basically just sort of disappeared, whether they were never seen again or whatever. But no one had any idea what happened to all the dwarves in his area. Apparently, that's what it was. Is that the dwarves of House Ramsey all like kind of left with Gent to go do this thing, and that's where
Tara has some proficiency with those ruins. She has spent some time, Otto as well, scouting them out and learning their secret passageways and safe ways.
yeah. So those
That's
ruins
true.
are ruins of House Ramsey, essentially.
And needless to say, it'd be interesting from a scholar's perspective to see what may have changed in the religion over the past couple hundred years.
Actually, yeah. Never speaking out of character, but yes, Fisbin would be very interested in that. In fact, he would probably emphasize that. He's an inquisitor of his area, of his land, but he's like a scroll keeper. He's a history buff. You know, as non-intelligent as he is, like, he doesn't necessarily keep it in his head. He wants to keep the history, and he likes to keep scrolls and things like that with him at all times.
Tara would be listening most of the time at the table, not speaking up much until she starts to get more of a feel for everybody. She mostly watches Dinky to see his reactions to everything.
Dinky is
And
at
the
ease.
most you'll get out of her is she will throw a little backhand about how I've been spending a rather long time trying to heal the lands after somebody burnt my friends' homes down, burnt down a couple of trees that I knew really well. Some of my favorite grasses are taking a rather long time to grow back.
Theros
you know.
kind of like, and then just leaves, falling through the floor and disappearing.
Oh, so he left?
Yes.
Okay. So that's good. As soon as that happens and she's like going on that tangent, I think Danky and I have been...
Yeah, and now Danky's at ease.
Yeah, I think Danky and I have been like signing to each other this entire time because we're in this moment, but like we're scheming between us about something to do. Can I roll for deception?
Depends. What are you trying to
To
deceive?
talk or to say something to
Terra?
Fisbin?
Oh, sure. So
All right.
depending on what you say determines the roll and all that good stuff.
Oh, okay. Well,
So you say
basically,
first, and then you can.
You can try, have a passive insight. That's
So,
pretty high.
But either way, you have to
basically-
still say it first.
So basically, I'm gonna be like, oh well, now that he's gone, let me tell you about Theros. He's got a fan fiction about you two. Like I've been in his places and I've seen some of the diaries. Like he really wants to get with you, dude.
All right, go ahead and roll deception.
Let's
Amazing.
see. That's 18 with plus 6. That's 24.
Amazing.
Like I'm
So
just
I
like
didn't
I'm
realize
going
you were
into
deceiving
detail of
another
like
player.
this is like the D&D version of a Wattpad to him. Like he's just like there's some like there's
you're
some
and you're
Fisbin
talking about
slash
that to Fisbin.
Theros talk here.
Oh goodness.
It's a whole Tumblr thread.
Well, you're not gonna like that.
Why?
That's a 27 insight.
I
Rolled an 18 on the die as well.
just
Wow.
So, I'm just hoping to get your hopes up.
And on that note, I think we will close for the night.
On that note.
I appreciate
Yeah,
your
I don't
effort.
think he bought that.
Okay.
All I would say is that I think Thranduin would want to get information about House.
Ramsey.
No, the other one.
Thorn?
Toil, Thorn.
Yeah. And like, if what he was saying was true, do they actually have a claim to the land, and like what they're, that whole thing, what they're really looking to do. And,
Okay. We'll cover that on the next episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And Brady would have wanted to. We can do this next time, but Brady would have wanted to know how he even met Theros. Like what deal was probably made for them to know each other.
Between Theros and Fisbin. Nice. We'll get to that. All right. Hi, I'm Sir Feffers. This has been Terraform Chapter 2, Long Shot Season 3. It feels so good to be back in